Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the next thing, your portal into senseless pop culture. Tonight's piece of shit will begin immediately.
I saw a really terrible movie. Oh god, it was so bad. It was called The Stop. It was in that little independent theater downtown. So you guys know what the one I'm talking about, the independent theater? And it's like, God, you can't just hang out at this theater, but it was the only place, so I just went. And it's like, everybody's a little too dressed up because it's independent, and you can't buy popcorn at a movie stand. You can only buy like English licorice. That's supposed to be like a step up from popcorn, and you don't bring it to the movie theater. I felt so out of place, but it's better than going home and talking to mom. So anyway, I'm watching the thing, and it's this girl and this guy, and right away I'm like, meh, but I just stay there because it's boring going home. And it's this girl, and she rides the train all the time. She like rides the train and watches people. She people watches, and she has a shit job and a shit boyfriend, blah 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 blah. And then it's this guy, and he rides the train all the time. He has a shit job and a shit girlfriend, and blah, 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 etc. And one day, these two meet each other. Oh, what an original plot concept. And they can't see each other because they've got like a shit job and shit boyfriend conflict. And anyway, it comes to this part when they're alone on the train, and they're naked, and it's midnight, and they're doing it, and like the windows are sweating, and the whole audience is like, oh, isn't that so beautiful? And I'm like, meh. And then this officer gets on the train, he's like, next time it's a date, kids. I'm like, that wouldn't happen, and that was supposed to be funny, but it wasn't. And the whole thing like builds up this whole moment when they're alone in the train and they're crying on each other and snotting on each other and trying to work things out, and the audience is getting all mumbly. And then the doors of the train open, and there's this crowd. This big, judging crowd. All know that they cheated on their... Oh god, it's so bad. Anyway, it just builds up to this whole moment, and then like the two just like can't stop, they have to stop seeing each other, which is why it's called The Stop. And like this movie is so bad. Like, who's gonna watch this? The only people who are gonna watch this movie are people with square frame glasses and MacBooks who are like, Ode to Vancouver. And I think this movie is so bad. This movie is like everything we expect. It's like everything we want things to be. The officer is a complete prick. The lovers love each other. The guy's mom is like sick and dying, so we have to pity her. And there's no train crashes or dying. I mean, don't we want something we can't expect? Wouldn't that give us something to remember? Don't we want a car crash in the middle of the bridge? Don't we want a fire in the place across the street? Don't we want a column sticking out on Channel 4? Don't we want to sit and stop and stare at accidents? Yes! Yeah. Stop me. I mean, surprise me before I'm old. When I'm old, I want scars. I want a story to tell.